I can say that I'm very grateful for the life that I have right now, because I know that I'm really getting towards the dreams and the goals that I want to achieve. I've come a long way, and I can say that I'm really happy with myself. Before, I was the type of person that really despised, and I mean despised, who I was as a person. I used to grow up seeing my parents always physically fighting, and I kept a lot of things inside of me that I never really exposed to anyone about anything. In a way, I began to carry a lot of baggage inside of me. Anger towards my family members, grudges towards my family members, anger towards myself most importantly, because I would look at myself in the mirror and think that I was ugly. I would look at myself in the mirror and think that I couldn't make it anywhere. I used to think that I wouldn't really achieve much for myself, and I would always downcast myself and put myself down. Eventually I was invited to the youth group, and when I came there it was completely different to anything that I'd ever been to in my life. It wasn't like a church, it wasn't like a place for young people, a youth club. It was completely different, because the people that were around there, they would talk about their lives, their life stories, the things that they had been through and the things that they had overcome. And for me, it blew me away, because I wanted to know how it happened for them, what was the secret, what made them succeed. So I started to change my habits, my lifestyle, things that were negative. I started to think more instead of going by my feelings and my emotions and the things that made me feel good for only a little period of time, but wouldn't have a permanent change or permanent output for me. I started to invest in who I was before God. And through doing this, I started to see areas of my life change. Like, I'm in the career that I want to, and I'm getting to where I want to get to. I enjoy being at home. I enjoy being with my family. I enjoy seeing them happy. I'm much stronger than I was. I'm much stronger in my mind, in my thinking, and the way I look at my future. And this is through the faith that I've gained, that I've invested in. In a way, I really worked hard to get to this level, and I'm still working hard to be even more, to be even better, to be even happier.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's Finding Answers. Tonight our topic is Don't Give Up. Now, people feel like they want to give up when they've experienced continual setbacks. This could be one big setback or a continued set of very small ones. Either way, this type of rejection or disappointment can lead to feelings of despair. And with despair comes thoughts of giving up. Now, the difficulty with this type of situation is we experience something called dissonance. This is where our thoughts or beliefs are not actually in line with our behaviour. So this is why forcing ourselves to go to work or to leave the house are actually psychologically painful, because these behaviours are out of line with our belief system. So the main task that you have is to change your thought patterns. And the best way to do this is to talk to someone. The actual process of discussing your problems or your current belief system can help you see your problems in a different way, and hopefully will help you to start thinking in a healthier, more beneficial way. So Edward, this is quite an interesting topic. Would you say that you needed to change thoughts first or behaviours?
Good evening, Victoria. Good evening to every viewer. I would say the behavior, correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I understand, has to do with the thoughts, right? First, thoughts become actions, right? Not everyone, not every thought becomes action, but for someone to decide to do something positive, first of all, the action not to believe on the negative thoughts. And second, to choose to determine, to decide to do something that they know, they believe that's going to bring positive results to them. Actually, I have this clock here. I don't know if we can see. I fast forwarded on purpose 1 hour, about an hour roughly. And exactly that's the right time I wanted to catch, because in a few seconds, it's going to go to zero, and that happens every night. In other words, every single night at this time when it shows here, we are blessed, we could say, with 24 brand new hours, a brand new day, which we can use, putting our problems behind, just deciding that, we're gonna put whatever went wrong behind and say, okay, I'm receiving a new chance to do it again. However, we were talking before, Victoria, that to some people, it's not that easy, right? It's complicated. I even heard that there is a study that says that the human brain has a negative bias. So on your expertise, is that really true? Does that really work? Is that like that?
Yeah, quite often the brain will have what we call a negative bias, which means that it lends itself to thinking in a negative way rather than a positive way. And psychologists have suggested that this is because we don't want to push ourselves out of our comfort zone. So if we fail at things or we don't try and we don't look for change, then actually it's easier for our brains to do that.
Okay, so I would say to you, our first advice, actually it's now 0. Okay, in about little less than an hour, you are going to receive this blessing. Okay, so you can put the stress of the day, decide the things that went wrong behind you. Don't carry your problems into the new day that's going to start. I mean, the stressful thoughts, the stressful emotions. Believe that you can do things differently. Believe that this day is not going to be a repeat of yesterday. These are things that you can do. Actually, you can give up on the negative, even though the topic of tonight is don't give up. But I would say to you, give up whatever is bringing you down emotionally. Give up these negative thoughts that, maybe you allow these thoughts to be always there on your mind. That things are not going to work for you, that nothing will ever change. I would say, the beginning of the change is to decide that this is not true, that it's not too late for you, that, a new day can bring a new positive outcome. Of course, it's not overnight that everything's going to change, but you don't need things to change overnight. You just need to take it one step at a time. We're going to watch a video now that talks about tonight's topic of the program, and we'll come back after this.
The development of awareness is a fundamental component of true progress. Once awareness is established, hope and commitment will come. It's about empowering yourself to get to the next level. However, if you hit rock bottom and feel helpless regarding the tasks in front of you, you may find it difficult to visualize your future, let alone where the next step would be. Are you feeling like you want to give up? Maybe you experience feelings of despair or a lack of motivation. Many people say that the ability to keep going in the face of failure and the ability to force yourself to carry out tasks is one of the most important tasks when you feel like you've lost it all. Remember that negative emotion breeds negative actions. If you focus on creating something for yourself and just take one little forward step, the physical effort you exert affects your inner emotional state. Your ability to soldier on in the face of emotional dissonance can carry you through the darkness and return you to a state of congruent activity and thought. So don't give up.
Okay, so Victoria, you asked me a very good question concerning the connection thoughts and behavior. From the point of view of psychology, is it the thoughts that change the behavior, or does it happen the other way around? I throw back to you the question that you asked me.
There are many studies that have looked at this and nobody can prove anything. So some people say that the thoughts come first and then the behavior follows, and other people say that it can be that you do something automatically and then the thoughts will come after it.
I have something inspirational from Scripture, just to speak to you, that you would like to see changes. Maybe you are not going through a major problem right now, but you would just like to see more. Maybe you are watching us and you feel that there's more to life than what you're seeing right now. There's something inside that tells you that it can't be just that. You're not satisfied with your routine. Maybe it's every day more of the same old, same old. There's something in scripture, actually, it's in the book of prophet Isaiah. Actually, it's a quote from God. It's God speaking to the prophet where he says, as I have thought, it shall come to pass. As I have purpose, so it shall stand. So, according to God, he thinks and then he acts. And I believe we were made in his image and likeness. So that means that if you can seek strength to reprogram the way that you think, if you need help to let go of negative ideas that circulate around your mind 24 hours a day, so that you can change the way that you think and make this and bring this different way of thinking into different behavior, different actions, that's a very good start for your life to start to change. And if you would like our help, if you would like to speak to someone right now, to be inspired, if you would like to receive a prayer towards the end of tonight's program, we're going to be offering everyone a prayer, especially you who call us. We have people watching us from all over the UK and even other countries through the internet, via the website. So wherever you are, if you have access to a phone and you want to call us, and also you can send us an email. The contact details, please, again.
So you can call us at any point during the show. Our number is 020 7686 6300, or send us an email. Our email address is help@findinganswers.tv, or you can talk to us via social media. Send us a tweet. Just start your tweets with @FindAnswersTV, or search for us on Facebook. Just search for Finding Answers.
So if you're someone that you're always hopping from job to job, goal to goal, your life has been a series of starting something and giving up before you accomplish, starting something and letting go before you finish. So you can contact us, right? You can speak to us even on the air if you want to, if you call us right now. And if you want to speak to a trained advisor, we are here to help. We're going to go to a short break and continue talking about don't give up after this.
All systems are go. We're about to
uplifting, diverse, vibrant, dynamic,
powerful, youthful, informative,
energizing, passionate,
motivational, freedom, lively,
excitement,
The pursuit of happiness. What will make you happy? Success? Fame? New shoes? Financial security? Love? Education? Independence? Family? Sometimes in the pursuit of things we think will bring us happiness, sometimes we fail to see that we aren't happy, or we never find it. We live in a world of people. Rather than pursue things to make you happy, what if we all worked to make each other happy? Wouldn't we all be happier?
Follow my channel's updates on Facebook. like your favorite videos and see pictures of your favorite artists. Access our Twitter @MyChannelUK and get to know what's on with My Channel. Visit tvmychannel.com and be connected to our world. My Channel, a whole new world of entertainment.
All systems are go. We're about to
Welcome back to Finding Answers. Tonight our topic is don't give up. So let's go to the general public on the streets of London to see what they have to say about this topic.
Definitely depression is probably number one.
They're arguing and they're talking negatively about each other.
What is more valuable than another? And so
you can have as many friends and family as you want. It just depends.
Is a common regret, like, oh, like I should have like asked that person out, or like.
Hi, I'm Chika here on the streets of London for Finding Answers. Tonight's topic is don't give up, which is something that you need to do if you want to progress, but it can be hindered by negative thoughts. So why do we pick the negative over the positive? That's just what I'm going to be asking the general public. Let's see what they say. In your opinion, why is it easier to think of the negative than the positive?
I think maybe just because it's kind of just human nature in a way. Like you always think of what you don't have rather than what you do have. Even if you don't mean to be negative, it's just more natural. People just kind of forget the good stuff.
I'm not sure that it's easier to think of the negative so much as it depends on where you're at in the mindset of the day. That if you've had a day where you're really run down and things aren't necessarily going well, then you sort of get in that mind frame of, well, of course, it's all going to go wrong because everything else has gone wrong. That may be it.
I would say because there's more negative than positive in some aspects, yeah.
When you take the right choice, when you make the positive choice, it feels like you're flowing downstream, like you're following your path. But if you make a negative choice that stands out, it feels like a wrong turn rather than just flowing downstream, I think.
So the negative stands out more, so it tends to be more predominant in our minds, would you say?
Yeah, I think so. You don't notice all the positive choices you make. They just flow by.
So now we're coming to the part of the program where I'm going to talk to a live guest. I have with me here tonight Joseph Ouverney, whose life was really bad before he actually opened up to learn about faith, before he learned concepts, of faith that really helped him overcome serious problems. If you tend to be more negative than a positive person, I believe this true story will help you. So stay with us.
It's pushing me for the rest of the week, so it's like a boost.
Things were really tight.
Today, the way I see myself is completely different.
Hello, Joseph.
Hello.
How are you?
Fine.
Thanks for coming, okay? So you have a very strong story, because we were talking before, actually, the broadcast, and you were saying that your life before was a living hell,
yes.
Right? That's how you describe. What was going on?
So as I said, my life was like hell on earth. Since my childhood, everything was bad. Start from when my father, so he left my mom. My mom was pregnant, and our family was really poor. My mom didn't have condition, to help us anything. So my mom decided to move, and with someone she didn't like it. And the person was really aggressive, It was a very tough man. He realized that my mom was with him because of money, because of us, as a sacrifice for us. Right. He started maltreat us, beating my mom. When I say beat, proper beating her. I saw with, let's say, I was 5, 7, and I used to see him come, when it come with my mom, I hold my mom by the hair and knock my mom's head on the walls. And we tried to help, but he was was a tough man and strong as well, you know. And many times he used to come with knives to kill my mom. I remember that one day I saved her because I saw him come with the knife, and I could lock my mom inside of the toilet. And then my mom didn't understand. And then he came. Until today, the house we used to live before, we could see the marks of the knife.
Wow.
Even the house, we had a lot of marks of the knife in the house because he tried to kill my mom. Sometimes he used to bring food, you know, trolley. You know, he used to bring a trolley. And he knew that we need that. Sometimes he used to arrive home, open the window, and get all the food and throw out of the window.
My goodness.
We used to live in a very poor area, but we didn't have really neighborhood. So it was just, you know.
So the strategy of your mom in moving in with him was, since there was no money.
No money.
At least she thought she could be, by that way, providing for you and
my brother.
Your brother.
Yeah.
You were saying to me you have a twin brother, right?
Brother, yes.
And you were both very young.
Very young.
And why was he behaving like this? Was it when he drank, or he was just straight out, you know, mean?
In reality, he was from the army, and he was retired because he had a mental problem.
Oh.
So he was retired. So very young, he was retired with mental problem. When my mom moved together, my mom didn't know this problem.
Okay.
Think that he was fine. He just was retired. You know, he got retired earlier. But he had mental problem. He had pleasure to see us to go there and pick up all the food, you know, and then
outside.
We used to pick on the floors, and some of the things to break, you know, get dirty with this, you know, the floor falls on the floor, and we have to wash everything. And when he used to do that, used to be around a month without come back home. We knew that we have to pick up because otherwise we'd have no food, you know, that whole month. And things was getting worse and worse. You know, we used to be very violent. We thought that he was gonna kill my mom any moment. Was the moment that we start growing up and see how he used to treat my mom, you know, and we chased him away. Because what happened with me and my brother, the violence we used to see at home, we start taking on board. And we used to be violent as well in school, violent with everybody. Sometimes in school, someone to beat my brother, for example. I used to say, no, come on. My stepfather beat my brother. You know, you're not gonna beat my brother also. So before you beat him, you're gonna beat me. So I used to take everything on board. It used to be full of anger inside of me. Then one day we just, you know, we faced him, and he decided to leave. Things got worse, but at least we didn't have him.
So in other words, this violent behavior affected you and your brother as you both were growing up. You also turned out to be violent, pretty much for not knowing what else to do to handle the situation, right? And you know, taking this opportunity to speak to you who are watching us right now, maybe at this point, I don't know if something like this is similar to this is happening to you, to your family. You are at a point where you don't know what else to do. Or maybe it's something else. Maybe there is a situation right now that you're going through regarding your future, regarding your career. Maybe even you are flipping through the channels and suddenly you see us talking about this. You see Joseph here talking about his problems, and you know, you are at a situation where you're even crying, you're desperate right now because you simply don't know. You know, tomorrow is going to come. If you could postpone tomorrow, you would, but there's no way to do it. You just have to deal with it, to confront with the situation, but it's been too much on you, Maybe you're turning to alcohol, you're turning to smoking, you're turning to maybe even drugs or violent behavior. Listen, stop. Stop now. You don't have to do these negative things. You don't have to give up believing that things can change. And if you believe in doing something positive now, in at least trying, something that will put your life, at least to start putting your life on the right track, give us a call, send us an email. Sometimes it's a situation where we need our help. Joseph's life today is very different. He's going to talk about it. It didn't change overnight, but it changed with one step towards the right direction. And there are trained advisors right now that can help you, that can inspire you, that can pray for you, that can listen to you. Maybe you don't even want a prayer, but you just want to talk to someone. You just feel like, venting out what's going on. Count on us. We are all ears here. 0207-686-6300 or send an email to help@findinganswers.tv. Okay? So, did you guys get in trouble with the police, or did it come to that point? How bad did it get?
Many times. I went to police, very violent.
Who was worse? You or who was more violent? You or your brother?
We always used to work together. Always. So you're never gonna find one by his own.
It was like the gang of two.
Yes. Everybody used to be scared of us because we used to carry knives and we used to be violent, really. But I used to be someone, this I remember, very depressive. When I was 12, 11, I used to be depressed. I used to have a sadness inside. I didn't understand why. Sometimes I used to come to my mom and say, Mom, I'm sad. But I didn't understand, to be honest, I didn't know what depression used to be. I just used to say, I'm sad. But still, I used to go to the street, and many times to arrive home with bruises in my body because I used to fight. Everything because I used to feel like my life is bad, Sometimes I used to see all the children, the parents used to go to pick them at the school. They used to speak about their parents. Of course, my mom used to be, someone that used to be always by our side, but she didn't have condition to take care of two boys. She suffered a lot. Many times to arrive home and find my mom just crying. She was crying. I asked, Mom, why are you crying? I don't know how you're gonna grow because you need so many things I cannot afford. You're gonna start have girlfriends, and I don't know what will be your future. And that sadness used to be inside. Things started getting worse. I believe by the kind of childhood I had, the depression got worse. I started taking tablets, and I started getting worse. Let's say in 2 years' time, I changed completely. I started going to doctors. From one tablet, I'll start taking 5 tablets. And these tablets were for kind of to try to control the depression. They found the disturbance in my brain, and the depression, everything. I reached a point that I lost the desire to live. Things start like this. I had suicidal thoughts. I tried to commit suicide. First of all, I threw myself in front of a car. You actually did it? I did. How old were you? Around 14. 14. And already thinking about giving up on life like that? I arrived home. My mom asked what happened, and then I said that was an accident. Because I want to commit suicide, but I didn't want to let my mom suffer. In my mind, she already suffered too much to see myself in a hospital, to go to my funeral. I didn't want to see that, but I want to take my life. So I threw myself. I arrived home, full of bruises, I must lost my finger, I remember. It was really bad, the bruises. And I said a lie to my mom. My mom take care of me, but I continued with the suicidal thoughts until the day that my mom left the house, wanted to do something. I was at home by myself. And then I said, that's the opportunity. Because I had desire to take my life. The sadness was inside. And then, of course, I was diagnosed that I had depression, and I said, I have I have to do something about it. I lost the desire to live. I said there is no way for me to have life again. Mm-hmm. To be honest, I never had one, so my expectation was really, really small. I didn't have an expectation that things would change. Then I went to the kitchen, I got a knife, and I put the knife really against my heart. It's something really difficult to do, to stab yourself. Imagine, even though you have the desire, I want to commit suicide, but it's something. I will stay for a long time, look at the knife and try. My mom entered in the house. Usually I used to hear her make some noise, but she entered when I realized she was inside the kitchen. My mom just started shouting, screaming. I threw the knife on the floor. She grabbed me and then took me to the hospital. And then got worse because I went back to the hospital. I ended up taking 12 tablets every day.
12 tablets every day?
12 tablets every day. I went completely mad. These were like 15, 16.
Did they actually hold you admitted you to a mental institution?
My mom, she was looking for a mental hospital. But she didn't want to see me in the mental hospital. Imagine, see your child in the mental hospital. My brother also was, impede my mom to say, no, we have to find a way out. I don't want to see my brother. We grew up together. They didn't want to see or visit me in the mental hospital. But my situation was so bad that sometimes I used to go to hospital to get injection to knock me down. Because at home, my mom could deal with me anymore. It was too bad.
And all that was around that age, 14, 15?
This time I was 15, 16.
So you see, you were a very young guy, but you were like an island surrounded by negativity all over and didn't know how to handle it, right?
2 months I didn't speak.
2 months?
2 months. I spoke few words with my mom. I didn't want to eat anymore. For me to eat, my mom need to put prepare the food, put in a blender, for me to really eat. Because for me to eat with a fork, I could eat anymore. I lost the total desire to live. I want to die. My mom, every day, see that same, picture in front of her, sitting there on the sofa. I used to scratch myself. I used to scratch, but really, I used to bleed, scratch. I used to pull my hair, really. Once I used to hit my head against the walls.
In other words, we have to go to a break now, but basically your life, now it's pretty clear, the picture, I believe, for everyone that was totally out of control. But today, it's something completely different, right? What you do today is something that to you who is watching his story is unbelievable. After the break, Joseph's gonna say to us, how did his story change and what he does today, which is it's a total turnaround. It's a 180-degree turnaround, positive turnaround in his life. And he's gonna describe to us what he did in order to see that change. Back after this.
All systems are go. We're about to
When we want to reach our goals, we research, act, and make sure we know everything there is to know about that topic. We study hard because that is the intelligent thing to do. This is the same for our development as a Christian. The Faith School is designed for those who want a degree in spiritual growth, those who want to separate time to study the Holy Bible and follow God's path for their life. There is no admissions fee and it's suitable for every level of learner. You will learn how to interpret the Word of God for your daily life and become stronger internally. Do you want to find inner peace and spiritual strength? Then this course is for you. The Faith School, every Wednesday at your local UCKG Help Centre. For more information, call 020 7686 6000 or visit our website uckg.org.
As a man, I understand the struggles men like me go through. They need to be strong always and not to show any weakness, even though it's there. To be a leader to our family, to our wife and kids, when we really wish someone else would show us the way. To choose what is right in a world of wrongs. To admit to our mistakes when our egos don't want us to be exposed. To learn to be a man when we're still only a boy inside. Being a man is not easy. But hard is also a part of being a man. We don't like anything easy. We want challenges. We want to prove that we can do it. That we are bigger than the problems staring us in the face. That's why we go to the moon, we climb the Everest, we sail around the world, and build fast cars. We like the feeling of accomplishment. And please don't ever tell us it can't be done. We will die trying. Being a man is not easy, but we wouldn't have it any other way. And yet, the true conquest of a man is not measured by his money, power, or fame. His greatest achievement is to overcome himself.
All systems are go. We're about to
Back with Finding Answers, it's such a shame that we don't have more time to exploit your story, which is so deep, so strong. But Joseph, what was the turning point in your story?
Well, I was hopeless, as I said, and I never believed in anything. I didn't believe in God, I didn't believe anything at all. So when I used to go to the doctor, the same doctor that used to help me since when I was 14 to 16, one day he saw my situation that was going really bad, worse. He knew I'm going to end up in a mental hospital. And then when we were about to leave, his clinic, about to leave, he called my mom back and said to my mom, and I was close to him, but I never spoke to the doctor myself. He used to speak to my mom to check how it used to be. Because I was in that moment, I was not talking to anybody. And he told my mom, why don't you try to take him to a church? Try to take him to a church, to a place. My mom, like myself, she didn't believe anything as well. But to me, it was really strong what he said, even though I didn't reply anything. But to me, I said, my God, this doctor is a bit crazy. He's supposed to change the medication. But changing medication, in reality, he tried before. I changed medication many times. He said something new. Well, I was in a city that I have to travel for a long time. In those times, I was quiet, as always I used to be quiet. To my mom, I was like the same. But all the journey I was thinking about, if the doctor is right. If the doctor is right and if I go there and something changed. When I was close to my city, I said, to be honest, I'm going to lose anything if I go there. I think I lost a lot. As I said, I have life. So I can try, I can't say no to this. So I told my mom, Mom, can you take me tomorrow to any church, any place? I want to go to see, because I never had contact to faith before. I want to try. I cannot say that doesn't work if I never try.
Right.
Next day, very early in the morning, she was ready, her makeup, everything. She said, let's go. Let's go to church. I said, yes, I'm going. She thought I was going to give up, but I was determined to that. So when I arrived in the church, I spoke to the pastor. I was honest to the pastor. I'm here, I don't believe whatever you say. But to be honest, I'll not be here like, I don't know if you understand, like a stone, that I'm not going to allow anything to, I'm not going to accept anything. I want to say that nothing happened while I really open to whatever you say. So I'm going to be here tonight. I told the pastor, I'll be here tonight. And I'm going to open my heart. I'm going to take part of the service. And let's see what's going to happen. At the end of the service, I was feeling something that I never felt for so long, or maybe I never felt that. I was feeling peaceful. In that night, for so long, I could sleep. The next night, because maybe say to someone watching us now, say, but one night to sleep, but for someone that can sleep every night is something normal, it's a night to sleep. But for someone that even under a medication, you can't sleep. I slept the night, and I knew that something happened that day. My reaction, I just used my intelligence. I said to my mom, Mom, I want to go back right now. This was early in the morning. I went there, the pastor was already there waiting. The pastor was there. When the pastor saw me back, I said, what's going on? Are you back? Look, something worked here yesterday. I want more. I just want more. And then I explained, this is real. Because for me, everything was new. I said, this is real. Pastor, I slept. I left here yesterday feeling good. With a period of 2 months, depression is like a level. For me, I understood like this. Sometimes the level is too high and you want to kill yourself. And sometimes the level is too low and you feel fine. You watch a movie, let's say go outside. But that moment, the level was going down. It was not overnight. Didn't happen overnight. It's not magic, but it was going down. To the point that someone came to me and asked, how are you? I said, I'm feeling fine. In the depression. To be honest, I forgot. I said, I think I'm fine, because you just remind me about the depression, because I just forgot. But how are you feeling? I'm feeling good. I went back to the doctor. Back to the doctor again. When I entered into the hospital, and the doctor used to get used to talk to my mom. And he's saying, how is it? So, sorry, talk to me, please. The doctor, because I think 2 years.
He was surprised you have
never
spoken to him.
I never spoke to him around 2 years, little things, very little things. He really hurt my voice. But he kept speaking to my mom. I said, please, I want to talk to you for the very first time. And he asked my mom, what's going on with him? Though he said, I know my mom said, well, you told him to go to a church. He went to a church. He's feeling better.
So you're saying, because our time is coming to crunch time now, what was it? Was it the prayers? Because I understand that you're talking about faith, right? That faith has helped you, right? Faith in God, right?
In God.
Started to help you feel better, right? It was a process, right? But what was it? Was it the prayer? Was it the teaching? Was it a combination of both things? What has happened at the church? What had happened there?
Well, I believe I gave a chance, for things to happen. I did a block or was like, say, I'm not going to accept this. I already tried many things. I tried hospital, I tried injection, tablets and everything. Why am I not going to try the new thing? I think it was everything together. I learned how to have faith. Because in that moment, when you have depression, you don't have faith really. For you to come out of depression, you need something to give a boost, right? And that I found in the church. together with the doctor. You see, I went back to the doctor. I was together with the doctor, but the doctor could see myself get healed every single day until my final exam, right? My final exam, where he saw my total restoration. Do you believe that until today? Not now, because many years my mom passed away eventually, but when my mom was alive, sometimes she called my mom and asked, how is my boy? And my mom used to say, he's not a boy. Now he's married. He's not a boy anymore, you know. But he's happy because he helped me somehow in both ways.
So combining whatever he was doing with also adding faith into the equation, you could overcome. In 1 minute, Joseph, talk about your life today. Who are you today? What do you do? How do you feel inside?
So today I'm a different person. Sometimes my wife saying to me, you talk too much. Of course, before I could talk, you laugh too much. I wake up in the morning like, you know, talking, laugh. Everybody knows me. I'm really talkative person. But I said to myself, I'll never cry again. I'll never be sad again. But I don't need to make any effort for this to happen because naturally took place, you know, because I decided to do something different. We can go talk about me, my experience. We can go to doctor, there's no problem. But parallel to that, we can use our faith. Was what I did. I just use my faith.
Learn how to do it, right? And that's how the church helped you in triggering how
help me to
develop the faith. Thank you very much, my friend. Okay. By the way, you today work.
I'm working the Hammersmith, right? I'm a pastor there in Hammersmith.
You are a pastor, right, of a Christian church.
A Christian church.
You motivate people.
I receive people in the same situation, and I understand them when they come.
Right. So you see, it's very exciting to have a story like Joseph because we see what faith, of course, combined with everything else you are already doing to get a positive outcome from your situation, really helps. What happened to him is that as he got closer to the faith, as he learned how to tap into this strong power called faith, he got the strength and the guidance needed for him to overcome his issues. You don't have to take medication today. The doctors wrote off everything, right? You got the all clear of everything.
Yes.
So here it is, a man that is restored. And he's going to be here. You can be here for a couple minutes, right? Actually, because I'm going to speak now to Pastor Carlos. We have another guest here on the show tonight. But you could be, Joseph, on the helpline. If anyone is going through a similar situation and he's maybe something at home, he is qualified. He's a pastor. He's a man of God to give you some advice. All right? 0207-686-6300. Back after this.
All systems are go. We're about to
Hi, the Chrissy B Show airs live on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, coming to your homes with entertainment, life issues as well as hard-hitting topics, coupled with friendly and practical advice. I love to look at the happier side of life and believe a person can achieve amazing things when they put their mind to it. The Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life.
All systems are go. We're about to
Welcome back to Finding Answers. I want to say that if you're finding anything that is being shown on this program helpful to you, or any previous episode of Finding Answers, you can go to YouTube and just type Finding Answers, and the episodes are there. Find the Finding Answers channel, and we upload our episodes over there so that you can even send it to someone, send the link to someone that you believe that can be helped, all right? It can be inspired. And by the way, I want to introduce you tonight to a new guest who is going to be helping us from now on every Tuesday night, Pastor Carlos Barcelos. Good evening, Pastor.
Hi, good evening, Pastor Edward. Good evening to all the viewers.
So, Pastor Carlos, this amazing story we had tonight from Joseph, he was talking about how faith helped him overcome the serious issues and become someone positive, actually a pastor, a spiritual leader today. How can faith help someone who has serious problems?
Well, definitely we could see that, it helped him. But as he was talking about, I was thinking exactly about, what Victoria and you were speaking about the topic. When you were talking about, for example, the mind, negative thoughts. And as Joseph, he was speaking, we could see, for example, that he didn't believe before, right? So in other words, his family, he, together with his mom, his family, they didn't believe. So it means they had a completely different set of minds. They were negative. In a way, we could see that they were very negative because he was even thinking about to give up many times. But things changed the moment that he accepted the invitation, which, by the way, a very unusual invitation because, as he said, was by a doctor. But thanks God for that, because, he accepted that invitation, even though he said that he didn't believe. But then, from then on, we can say that his mind began to change. So it means the moment that he took that action, he forced himself to go there to the church. So that's when things began to change. And today he has a different mind.
Very good. Yes, so you see, faith is something that can be learned, right? I believe there also a very strong point was when he said, I don't believe you. In other words, he was open, he was sincere. And I see that most people that they get an experience from God, they share this in common. They come with a sincere heart. Listen, I'm not perfect. I don't even believe, but I'm open to try whatever is necessary. Actually, Pastor Carlos, we are going to go to a prayer now, and if you are watching us and you believe that also a prayer can help you. See, Joseph mentioned that in the first night he came, he got a prayer, and in that prayer he felt better. And I believe that the same can happen to you. God can do something now. That's why we're even going to ask you to prepare a glass of water if you can, and have it with you throughout the prayer, because we're going to bless it. And I believe that, by you drinking it, this glass can be energized to help you feel better tonight, sleep better, according to your faith, of course. I believe, if you believe too, we believe in this. If you agree, then let's do it right now. It's time for prayer.
Prepare now for the moment of prayer. If you would like us to make a prayer concerning your spiritual well-being, send your name and prayer request to help@findinganswers.tv.
Our Heavenly Father, in the name of your Son, our Lord and Savior Jesus, first of all, we want to thank you, my Father, for this great testimony that we heard, and I'm sure that it has inspired many people for a life change as well. And we could see, my Father, that it's possible. Things can change. So we ask you that you stretch out your hands to bless those who are watching us now, those who are taking part of this prayer. so that their lives may change, just as you promised through your words. Father, we consecrate this glass of water, we bless, so that when those who will be drinking, believing, or perhaps they don't even believe, but they are acting, they are using their faith, and faith is about this, is about acting, so that they can start believe as well. So consecrate and bless in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. My dear friends, you can drink of this water and be blessed.
So we have come to the end of tonight's Finding Answers. It was a pleasure being with you. Just reminding you that tomorrow at the same time we have a very special edition of Finding Answers with a topic I'm certain that will hit a nerve with you, will help you, will inspire you. God bless you. Good night.